Hey guys, thanks again for joining me for my coverage of the Budo League. In this installment, we have the first set between the Takeda clan's Team 1 versus Clan Shimazu. Representing Takeda 1 is Nobushige, and representing the Shimazu clan is Shimazu Tadahisa. We are on Slumbering Settlement. It's another one of these maps which is mostly flat with trees on either side. There's several of those, and they are one of the most interesting and balanced maps to play on. Okay, here we are on Slumbering Settlement. Over here in the black, we have the Takeda clan's Nobushige. At the front, we'll wheel it around. We have 2 units of Boa Shigaru in loose stance, followed up by 2 units of Matchlock Ashigaru. I think this is Matchlock Ashigaru because that name is Kinapata and not Matchlock Ashigaru. But they have the right sort of number, 120, so that's fine. Following them, 3 units of Katana Samurai. Then a unit of Yari Ashigaru mixed in with the general. And left and right, Lone Sword Ashigaru. The general is actually dismounted, so there's something different. And over here, flanking wide left, hidden in trees, 2 units of Great Guard. Over here on the right, hidden in trees, 2 units of Katana Cavalry, which haven't been featured very heavily, and a unit of Yari Ashigaru in support. Zooming across the map, in the deep navy blue, we have 2 units of Bow Warrior Monks and a unit of Boa Shigaru, also in loose stance. Behind them, a pretty heavy spearman contingent. We have Naginata Warrior Monks, 2 of them. 2 units of Yari Ashigaru following them. No Dachi Samurai, 2 units left and right. And 3 units of veteran Lone Sword Ashigaru. Behind them, Yari Cavalry, 1, 2... 3 units of Yari Cavalry, 1 unit of Katana Cavalry, and who knows what else hidden. Let's go ahead and get it started. Now, I can't make much of a prediction based on the unit compositions alone, but they are more or less even. Tadahisa has, I think, less ranged units, really, than Nobushige. It seems like Tadahisa just has 3 bow units, whereas Nobushige has 2 Boa Shigaru and 2 Matchlock units. But who knows what else he has hidden in these trees. We do have 1 capturable building. It is a workshop. It gives armor bonuses to the side that controls it. You can see Nobushige is moving up, and he's just in range of the capture radius of that building. Oh, yeah, pardon me. There's a nice little village here, complete with fountain and everything. Ah, very nice. Soon to be witness to a deadly battle. So you can see Nobushige's cavalry getting wide left and right. I wonder if they've been spotted or have they been hidden the whole time? I guess they have been hidden because Tadahisa is not moving to confront them, which means this is very clever play from Nobushige. Being able to keep forces left and right flank all the way around completely undetected. Now we are beginning to see the ranged units array ready for a skirmish, just out of range of each other. That's one of Murphy's military laws: if the enemy is in range, so are you, and the reverse must be true. Now, just based on the deployment of forces, I would imagine that Nobushige is going to pull this one out, because he's going to ambush with cavalry from nowhere, as far as Tadahisa is concerned. And Nobushige is moving his archers forward, which means the skirmish is going to begin. and a unit of cavalry going forward. And I would say that Nobushige is going to lose this skirmish because just of the numbers involved. 91 from 120, this unit being focus fired down. But he does have matchlock units ready to fire a volley into these cavalry, and he does realize that and is moving them away. One volley gets about 3 guys. Now, Nobushige reveals his cavalry up the back. Will Tadahisa realize that they're there, or is he going to be consumed by this skirmish? That he is winning, it must be said. These Boa Shigaru are now wavering. No, Nobushige's cavalry is running in, and they are katana cavalry. Which means they're probably going to be quite deadly indeed. They're sending them after the Yari cavalry, which might be questionable, but he might as well send them at something. Blam into the rear of the katana cavalry, and the morale instantly increases because, hey, they're fighting cavalry, and then it goes down again because an Inspire was thrown up, or a war cry or something. And I'm wondering why Nobushige doesn't bring his Great Guards in as well. But I guess he's just hoping to get some harass. Make him think twice. But I would say these katana cavalry are not going to survive that long. Not against the number of forces arrayed against them. They are now fleeing. 1 unit routes. And the second unit probably... there it goes. Now look at this! Tadahisa, with that cavalry that was behind before, did manage to swoop around, took a shot at the general, but he's dismounted up in the line, and now he's just letting them sit there. Nobushige is bringing the Great Guard around. If he wanted to do that, I don't know why he did it at the same time as he brought in the katana cavalry, but here they are, going up against katana cavalry and Yari cavalry. I know who wins, but they are going to be supported by all sorts of fun stuff. Nobushige is moving the bulk of his forces forward now. Matchlock's going off in the distance. You can see that there. Here comes a cavalry engagement well behind Tadahisa's line. It looks like Nobushige has forgotten about it for the moment. He needs to get these Great Guard in. He's focusing on the battle at the front line. And now his general is in grave danger, my lord. Because that's him there. Now the Great Guard doing an excellent lot of damage, physical and morale. And these cavalry units from Tadahisa are starting to flee. One routes, both of them are wavering. Another one routes, so there's only one left, probably about to rout as well. These Nagano warrior monks did come in, try and get some damage. And while this is going on, I'm probably missing a very dangerous confrontation up the front line. Nagano warrior monks facing off against Lone Sword Ashigaru. It's another one that I think I know who wins. Nagano warrior monks are awesome, but they're losing. Must be the morale malices from these matchlocks. That's incredible. So Tadahisa has engaged the front line pretty mightily. Nobushige's Great Guard swooping in. And I'd say that Nobushige, because of his positioning, has won this one. He does have his general dismounted in stand ground. And they are taking bow fire, it seems. It looks like Tadahisa is winning this fight over here on the right flank. If he pulls this out, he may yet have a chance. Go after the general or crash into Nobushige's line. And Tadahisa has thrown up the rally, which is probably the right thing to do. But now the reinforcements from Nobushige come. And things don't look good for Tadahisa now. He did briefly have a chance with that fight. He's bringing in another unit of Naginata warrior monks from somewhere. Probably ones that fled before but have come back. The matchlock from Nobushige still doing morale damage and real damage to these units. It actually looks deceptively even. And there is a unit of Yari cavalry from Tadahisa still up. Are they going after the matchlocks, who are wavering already for some reason? Will these Yari be able to crash into the general, who are taking archer fire? Oh no, is it the matchlocks taking archer fire? Here goes the cavalry charge. Matchlocks wavering. And the Yari cavalry did go after the general. And the matchlock unit does flee. So it's only a matter of time now. He's pouring that Yari cavalry in, trying to do as much damage as possible. He's got support from these Boa Shigaru behind. But no, they're going to flee. They're wavering now. Up against these Yari Ashigaru, they won't last long. And they're gone.
Our men are running from the battlefield.
But wait! Did Nobushige's general get killed? Nobushige is fleeing! Nobushige's army is fleeing the field! I did not think it possible. Tadahisa has pulled this one out of the fire. That's incredible play from Tadahisa. Clutch game. He goes up 1-0 in a very close game against Takeda clan. The Takeda team, Clan Takeda's team 2, Nobushige. 1-0 Tadahisa. Alright, game 2 in this best of 3 set between the Takeda clan's Nobushige against the Shimazu clan's Tadahisa. The first game was extremely close. I thought for sure that Tadahisa was going to lose, and then he pulled it out of the fire at the last moment. Very crafty play, killed his general, destroyed Nobushige's morale, and routed him from the field. So it's 1-0 currently to Tadahisa in a very close game. I have high hopes for the second game. If any set goes to the third game, it'll be this one. This is the closest one we've come across so far. Let's pause the game. Unit compositions. Here is Nobushige. We've got 2 units of Boa Shigaru up front. We've got a unit of matchlocks, left and right. We have Yari Ashigaru, left and right. We have one unit of Lone Sword Ashigaru, and 3 units of Katana Samurai. His general, once again, dismounted amongst some Yari Ashigaru up the back. Another unit of Lone Sword Ashigaru over here. On the left flank, he has 2 units of Great Guard. And over on the right flank, a unit of Katana Cavalry in a wedge. His opponent, the Shimazu clan's Tadahisa. Up the front, a unit of matchlocks. Flanked left and right by 1 unit of Bow Warrior Monks and 1 unit of Bow Samurai. Behind them, 2 units of Yari Ashigaru, Naginata Warrior Monks, 2 units, 1 left, 1 right. Followed up by 1 unit of Nodachi Samurai, 2 units of Nodachi Samurai, 1 left, 1 right. 3 units of Lone Sword Ashigaru, and 4 units of Yari Cavalry. Let's get it going. We are on rice fields. The flattest of maps known to man. We do have 1 capturable building, the farmhouse, increasing the stamina and movement speed of all units. Quite a nice one to capture, isn't it? Rice fields is always about maneuver. Pure battlefield. Sometimes it's even just about raw numbers. But given the skill level of these people involved, I doubt that will be the case. As we can see, the Nobushige sending his Great Guard off to his left flank, having a little scout around some trees. Lovely trees with cherry blossoms falling. Now Tadahisa sends his cavalry forward. I will fast forward. No, he doesn't send them forward. He just moves them up a little bit. He is sending his general over to the right-hand side, along with a little contingent of troops. We have Bow Samurai, Naginata Warrior Monks, and the Nodachi Samurai moving into the trees. Here we can see Nobushige sending his ranged units very far forward and doing a little run-around dance. Tadahisa setting up in trees. Another Battle of wills. Who will strike first? Given that the first game was so close. Now we can see... Please, you fools. This unit of Great Guard taking casualties. Quite a few casualties, actually. They've taken 8 losses to a unit of archers in these trees, which I have completely missed. You can see Nobushige's matchlocks eyeing that forest carefully, and then you can see where he intends to move them. Got them all grouped up, no doubt. Moving them as one unit. Tadahisa still moving his units over to the right-hand side. Are these bow cavalry? No, they're Avatar's bodyguards. Of course, there's the little Avatar symbol on top of his flag. And they obviously have some archery masteries in their force. The Great Guard decide to push forward, going to harass this Yari cavalry, figuring I can beat Yari cavalry in a fight for sure. But no, there's Naginata warrior monks there, so we ought to pull back. But he does push his Great Guard and a unit of matchlocks forward into this next stand of trees. Nine-tenths positioning, 1/10 melee. That's the sort of games I like to see. Now, these bow samurai shooting at these matchlocks. These matchlocks out of range. And they're going to take all sorts of damage. 99 from 120. And very wisely pulling back. But before they take another volley though. 92 from 120. They completely missed the Yari cavalry going forward, fended off by the Great Guards. This is going to be a slow burner game, that's for sure. The Great Guards charging all the way forward. So are the matchlocks. They want to get a volley off. The Great Guard do take a volley from Tadahisa's matchlock units, and then get mixed up with the Yari cavalry. Unity Yari Ashigaru you could put in there, it's only Great Guards after all. Instead he's moving across his Nodachi Samurai, something I would not agree with at all. And his Naginata warrior monks. The matchlocks losing the skirmish pretty horribly. Second unit of Great Guard coming around the Tahasa's right-hand side. The Yari cavalry get routed instantly. Even though there was a perfectly good Yari Ashigaru unit could have thrown in, here comes another unit of Yari. How many units will flee to this unit of Great Guard? But no. Flanking effects on morale have been increased, and so these Great Guard are not going to last long at all. Already wavering, going to flee any moment. Second unit of Great Guard does manage to charge into this unit of Yari cavalry, and they flee. And here comes some Naginata warrior monks to have a fight. And there goes that unit of Great Guard, they have fled.
Shameful display!
So the second unit of Great Guard backed up by matchlocks versus a bow samurai unit and a Naginata warrior monk unit. Now being supported by 2 units of Yari cavalry, and the Great Guard's morale is lowering, now wavering, eating up some extra morale damage from the war cry. You can see the effect happening on their flag there. Won't be long before they flee.
Our general is in grave danger, my lord!
Now let's take a moment to think about the effect of this. Nobushige has lost his cavalry. Tadahisa's cavalry is still relatively healthy. But not if they get charged by Yari Ashigaru from behind. That would be disastrous for the cavalry. And now they're going to flee. Flee like babies. A shameful display! And now Nobushige is throwing his melee units against the front line. I think he suspects he can win, and it does look he may outnumber him. Certainly in this patch here, this assault can only go Nobushige's way. And he has completely... No, I lie. Naginata warrior monks are still there. The Yari Ashigaru versus Naginata warrior monks. The Yari Ashigaru are backed up by matchlocks and this unit of Yari cavalry, which I completely didn't see. So no, did I say his cavalry was gone? It's not, it's still there. The battle in the middle is now happening in earnest. Nobushige is trying to charge his Nodachi Samurai forward into his general, which is loosing volleys. And some of them do get there, but the general is retreating. And now the left flank of Tadahisa's forces are coming over, trying to fend off this unit of Katana cavalry in a wedge. But Nobushige has got this around. He now has a numerical superiority. The general is probably... No, he didn't die. He managed to escape from the Katana cavalry straight into a unit of Yari Ashigaru. I can think of better ways to escape.
Our men are running from the battlefield! A shameful display!
Now, surely if I say...
My lord, a glorious victory will
Alright,
soon be yours.
so this time when I said the Nobushige was going to win, I was right! That is a pretty convincing win for Nobushige, but most importantly, that means that it is a 1-all. We are all tied going into the third game of this best-of-3 set between the Takeda clan's Nobushige and the Shimazu clan's Tadahisa. Alright, here we go. Game 3 between the Takeda clan's Nobushige and the Shimazu clan's Tadahisa. We are all tied 1-1. The first game was pulled out by Tadahisa at the last moment, and the second game was pretty convincing for Nobushige. So, I'm giving the edge to Nobushige, but we'll see what happens. We're on floodplains, and the winner of this game will take the set in this match between the Takeda clan and the Shimazu clan. That is Takeda clan's Team 1, since they are fielding 2. Here we are. Here in the black, Takeda clan's Nobushige, with more or less the same sort of stuff he's been using before. Except now we have 2 units of bow cavalry out front, so I lied. Followed by 2 units of bow Ashigaru, matchlock Ashigaru to the left and right, Yari Ashigaru behind there. We got 2 units of Great Guard over here. The 2 units of Great Guard are something he's been using pretty much constantly. We have 3 units of Katana Samurai, 2 units of Lone Sword Ashigaru, and a unit of Yari Ashigaru in front of the General. Over here in the dark blue, it is the Shimazu clan's Tadahisa. Out front, 2 units of Bow Samurai, followed by 2 units of Naginata Warrior Monks and 2 units of Yari Ashigaru. Behind them, 3 units of Lone Sword Ashigaru and 2 units of Nodachi Samurai. The General and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of Yari Cavalry. And like I've said, just based upon the performance of the past 2 games, I have the edge for Nobushige. I think Nobushige can pull this out. He's shown just a little bit better tactical competence. Not that much better, mind. Just enough to pull out a win. So once again we have 3 capturable buildings. We have the workshop over here for armor, the sword dojo here for melee, and over here on the left hand side, the shrine for morale. Now, first thing that happens is Nobushige is sending forward his bow cavalry for a little bit of harass. But he did have to pull them back from these bow units. These bow warrior monks have already taken a casualty. Tadahisa is just slewing his army over to his right flank, and he's sending his Yari after these bow cavalry, which might even be a good idea. It'll scare him away, but I don't think you'll be able to catch them. And you can see Nobushige sending over one of his Great Guard units to that flank. Bow cavalry units taking casualties, being focused down by archer fire. 50 men left, 48 from 60. Now just retreat. Unit of Great Guard over here on Tadahisa's left flank, hiding in the forest. Well, they're completely visible, so... not hiding. Here's a unit of Yari cavalry just looking. Just observing the bow cavalry. Just sitting here waiting.
Hidden units, my lord.
Here they go. But he's moving them out of the way very quickly. That's good reaction time from Nobushige, but they do get caught! But not enough to get them tied up in melee. The bow cavalry unit does manage to escape. And the Yari going after the matchlocks and about to be ambushed by Great Guard, is my guess. Meanwhile, I'm missing something important over this side. One of Nobushige's bow cavalry units have been routed by archer fire, it seems. So that's just bad luck. One of Nobushige's Great Guard is over this side. Probably going to do something dastardly, and Tadahisa's units should just disappear into the forest. Bit of a scrap happening here. Yari cavalry versus Great Guard, and matchlocks and bow cavalry. The Yari cavalry's morale is already extremely low, and going to get lower when the Great Guard close in and start stabbing them, as is the custom. And they're fleeing and they're routing. Too easy. Now, there will be a lull. What will happen next? I'll tell you what will happen. These Naginata warrior monks are going to run forward and not get shot at by Matchlock Ashigaru.
Hidden units have been discovered, my lord.
Now over this side, Yari cavalry facing off the Yari Ashigaru with Great Guard. Probably sweep in and help with this. And these Matchlock Ashigaru, unfortunately, are about to flee? No? They're good. Okay. So, the Great Guard did swoop in and hit these two units of Yari cavalry. A unit of Naginata warrior monks is coming over to help from Tadahisa, but there is also a unit of Yari Ashigaru here, still there from Nobushige. And the unit of Matchlocks in support for morale damage. A war cry does go up from Tadahisa's Naginata warrior monks, but both units of Yari cavalry have now fled, and these units of Naginata warrior monks probably not far behind. Nobushige is moving all the way forward. He wants to start this fight proper. This unit of Naginata warrior monks hanging in there pretty good, and they are fighting Yari Ashigaru. So there's that. Here we go, Nobushige is going for the assault. Yari Ashigaru up front, followed by Katana Samurai, running into the Nodachi Samurai of Tadahisa. The general pulling back to give support. Here comes all the melee units, smashing into this flank to start the ball. Yari cavalry smashing into the flank of the flankers. Doing some amount of morale damage.
Our entire unit has perished, my lord.
Apparently one of Nobushige's entire units has perished. So that cannot be a good thing. Here come the rest of Nobushige's units. Going to charge up the middle. But he's sitting his general there, just begging to be shot at. But he does put them to stand ground, making the general himself almost impossible to kill, standing as he is in the middle of all his loyal bodyguards. The ball continues. And it wouldn't surprise me if this went into Tadahisa's favor. Outnumbered and probably... No. I'm lying again. Yari Ashigaru morale coming down. Nodachi Samurai morale coming down. But here comes a unit of Naginata warrior monks, survived from this fight over here on this flank. And he should be attacking. Attack with your warrior monks. In the flank. In the flank. For the morale to go. You have to do it now, or you'll lose. Tadahisa, go! Attack! You fool! Finally, yes! A bit too late, because his entire army is about to flee! Oh no! Tadahisa! All of his units are beginning to rout. Tadahisa still has Lone Sword Ashigaru No Dachi Samurai, Naginata Warrior Monks over on this flank, but that is the end for Tadahisa. A little bit of missed timing. That unit of Naginata Warrior Monks, if they were in there just a tiny bit sooner, it could have gone a different way. It really could have. Nobushige goes up 2-1 over the Shimazu clans. Tadahisa taking set 1 for the Takeda clans. Team 2, Team 1. Team 1.